But what people forgot is this. Why is it that I say 8.8? Why is it that I say 8.8 in South Korea, Gwangju, and then 10 months later, 8.8? Because the prophet of the Lord is the bearer of the mouth of the Lord. So when I tell you it is well, it is essentially the Lord who has spoken to you. That's why it comes to pass. That's why I go to Mexico and warn Mexico, and then the prophecy is fulfilled. I mentioned Puebla, and then here epicenter is in Puebla. I have seen earthquake hit several parts of Puebla because of the worship of Satan.
The epicenter of the quake was in Puebla State.
I have seen earthquake hit several parts of Puebla because of the worship of Satan. That's why I mentioned cathedral, the Catholic cathedrals. Catholic churches are going to be struck. And you find that the earthquake goes and strikes Catholic churches like this throughout. The cathedral in Mexico, I have seen an earthquake split it open. Tremendous earthquake coming to hit the Catholic Church. That's why I go to Chile and say Concepcion, and then you hear the whole media globally. Concepcion. God is crying for Concepcion.
Dios está llorando para Concepción.
Concepcion, Concepcion.
Concepción, Concepción.
God is crying for Concepcion.
Dios está llorando para Concepción.
Listen to me, Concepcion. God is asking everybody in Concepcion to begin to repent.
8.8 quake, very strong. Concepcion.
A massive earthquake has struck Chile, Concepcion.
The country's second largest city of Concepcion.
In Concepcion, Chile's second largest city.
When the Lord sends the mighty prophet of this caliber that can shake the earth with COVID, 4 years before, December 1, 2015, nobody knew that those words had so much power like that. Put in the YouTube, saying with details, it will come from Asia, it will shut down the whole earth, there will be no equipment to handle the disease, hospitals will be overflooded. Details.
The Lord took me into a hospital in Asia. There's a very big distress there. I see the lack of equipment. The doctors are running up and down, and many people flooding into the hospital. So there is going to be a big distress that is going to come into Asia. A big disease, distress of disease is coming. There will be a disease emergency in Asia. That distress will be like none other. A distress that has not been seen. This kind of distress, like God has shown me just a few minutes ago when He took me to Asia, will develop on this earth, will drop on this planet Earth.
An invisible killer is sweeping the world.
There's growing concern about a new and rare virus in Asia.
The WHO has formally declared the coronavirus a global pandemic.
And medical staff are doctors having to choose who lives or dies because there aren't enough respirators.
What am I going to do with 400 ventilators when I need 30,000? You pick the 26,000 people who are going to die.
The Lord took me into India.